Hello friends, in this video we will explore the layers palette or panel, whatever you say. Layers are very important in Photoshop as it helps in managing images individually. Slowly you will understand why or how. So let's learn about some basics in layers. Here is the layers panel. If you cannot see the layers panel, go to window menu and make sure your layers panel is checked. At the bottom of layers panel, we have several buttons. If you hover over each button, you can see for what purpose it is used. See, create a new layer, create a new group, create new fill or adjustment layer, add a mask, add a layer style, like this, okay? Now at the corner of the layers panel, we have an arrow. Let's click and explore what it is. Here you can see various options like new layer, duplicate layer, new group, convert to smart object, like this. Here one thing we have, that is panel options. Let's click it. See, we have thumbnail size. You can select either none or small size, medium size or large size. For me it's small size. This is the thumbnail. Thumbnail means this white portion which you are seeing of this background layer. Okay, I like it small because when I design websites or say business cards like this, it will be having various layers. So it's really very easy if I make the thumbnails size very small. It's for my benefit actually. Okay, so next we have the thumbnail contents. It has two options, layer bounds or entire document. If you choose layer bound, it will only show the layer content, means only the size which the layer occupies inside the document. And if you choose entire document, then it will show the entire document. Then we have other options also. Expand new effects, means whenever you are applying effect, it will be automatically expanded. You will notice it later actually. And add copy to copied layers and groups. See, it's now checked. Okay, click OK. Now let's unlock it first. Now if you duplicate this layer, you will see an additional word here, copy. This is because of this option being checked, add copy to copied layers and groups. Okay, so you can choose anything, whichever is favorable for you, then click OK. And another thing which I need to tell you, that each layer consists of two parts, thumbnail and the layer name. See, this is the thumbnail and this is the layer name, and then we have the blank space. This blank space is also very important for providing styles and all. I will tell you why. That's it for this video. In our next video, we will see how you can provide effects using layer style. Hello friends, in this video we will see how we can implement awesome effects using layer styles. As we know, this is our background layer and we can see that it is logged. Let's unlock it first. How you can unlock it? Just double click over it. Now you can provide here the layer name. Let it be layer 0 only. Now click OK. Okay, so now it's unlocked. Now while selecting the layer, just double click on the right side. Voila, here it is. You can see a window popping up, isn't it? You can see the name of the window is layer style. It has various options. By using this, you can create awesome effect. Let's check this gradient overlay. See, you can ask from where it is coming. So just click over it. You can see many options. The first is blend mode, then we have opacity, then comes the gradient. Here you can see that it's matching to your document, isn't it? So just click over it, single click, just a left click. Here it is. We can see a gradient editor window popped up. From here we are getting the effect. See, if you drag it here and there, the gradient changes. Not only this, you can change the color also, like this. See, it's not cool, I know, but just for illustration purpose. Okay, here is the preset, which have some default gradients and also some gradients which you have created and saved. These are my saved gradients. Okay, let's see how you can create our own gradient. So let's choose one. Okay, now we'll edit. We will drag it here. If you select a color stop and if you click at another place, see the tooltip, click to add a stop. You have clicked and it's here, isn't it? Now you can change the color either by this way, see, or by double clicking over that color stop, like this. Also you can change the opacity. You have clicked this opacity stop. Now click here. See, here it's opacity 100%. You can lower down the opacity. Okay, by this you can create your own styles, your own gradients. Okay, if you are happy, then you can click OK. If you are not, you can click cancel, or you can uncheck the gradient overlay. That's it, now it's gone. Now let's come to color overlay. See, your document has become red. Why red? When you have clicked color overlay, you can see in this section we have an option named color, and here you can set the color of overlay. See, currently it's red. Let's change this. See, it has now become green. You can lower down the opacity if you want, like this. Also, in certain cases, you may need a specific color which you use the most. You can make that color default. So whenever you are coming back, instead of red, you will see this green. Okay. Next, come to this pattern overlay. Uncheck this color overlay now. Now pattern overlay. This seems like some bubbles or something. Here is the pattern. You can change, of course. And here is the pattern library, from where you can select your own patterns or some patterns which you have downloaded from internet, like this. It's very efficient when you are making some website headers or something else, some retro style. Okay, like this. Not only this, in various photo manipulations also, photo designing, means designing photos and all, these are really very efficient. See? Now for this drop shadow, outer glow, inner shadow, stroke, let's create a rectangle first. I will cancel this. Now let's draw a rectangle. Okay. Now again, by double clicking over the right of the layer, we will open the layer style. Now let's come to the drop shadow. Here in the layer style, inside drop shadow, you have various options: distance, spread, size, like this. What happens if we change the distance? Let's experiment. See, the distance is increasing. There is also an option spread. Spread makes more prominent. And size, see, it blurs out like this, isn't it? Usually I keep the distance very small, spread also small, size a little bit for that blurring effect. Now let's increase the distance for illustrating this. Here you can see an option angle. You can change the angle. See, depending on the angle, your shadow changes. Okay. Now let's see outer glow. Outer glow by default, it keeps white. You can change it also. You can select some other color like green, or say some other color like orange kind of color. Okay. Here also we have spread and size option. Let's increase the size. See, one thing you can notice that it's keeping that 94 degree which we have mentioned here. See, let's change the angle. See, our outer glow changes, isn't it? So just experiment with all these things. Next we have this stroke. If you check this stroke, click on the stroke or else it will not come. Okay, you can see inside stroke we have some options. Stroke size, if you increase the size of the stroke will increase, or if you decrease, it will decrease. Then we have the position, outside, inside or center. Let's increase the size first. Now select inside. Now see, or you can select center. Now it's half inside and half outside. Then here it's opacity. Decrease the opacity like this. Okay. Next we have this inner shadow. Inner shadow by default is black. You can change this also. You can set to green or some orange or some yellow, anything. See, so you can play around with all these things and you will become master in layer style. It's looking a bit awkward, so I will click on cancel. Now as I have mentioned that we will create an awesome effect using layer style, so we will do that. Let's double click. Come to the stroke. We'll give around 10 stroke, it's fine. And we'll change the color to this one. Okay. We'll check the drop shadow. Make the distance a little bit higher. Keep the spread 0 only. We'll increase the size a little bit. It's looking fine, isn't it? Now click on OK. How is it looking? Okay. Now using your type tool, you can write here your name. One thing I would like to mention that currently your rectangle layer is selected. Okay. You can see these corners, right? Now if you try to write here, it will be written on this rectangle. Means it will become a text layer of a path. Okay. We don't want that. So make sure you press Ctrl H. Now you can write here. Say your name is John. Okay. Of course you can change the color of your name or anything. Like this. Okay. You can also put here some image like this. Okay. Here I conclude this video. Hello friends, in this video we will explore the swatches panel and also we will see how important it is. Here is our swatches panel. If you cannot see this panel, go to window menu, make sure swatch is selected. Inside our swatches panel we have multiple colors. Hence swatches are really very important for projects as you can work with color in a faster way. Let's illustrate by changing the color of this rectangle. For changing the color of rectangle, come to the rectangle layer and double click over the thumbnail, not on the layer name. Okay, so double click over the thumbnail. Now from the swatches select a color like this. You can see instantly the color of our rectangle has changed. See, like this. Say for example you want to change the foreground color. Just select any color inside our swatch. You can see our foreground color has changed. Say for example you want to change the background color here. What do you need to do? Press Ctrl for PC, Command for Mac, and then click on any color inside your swatch panel. Say for example you want this yellow. Press Ctrl or Command for Mac, Ctrl for PC, and then click on that color. You can see that our background color has changed. So you can see that how useful it is, isn't it? You can change color of your rectangle, means of any shape, instantly, and also you can change the foreground color or background color, or say for example this text color. We have this text, isn't it? If you are unfamiliar with this text or text layer anything, don't worry. In our coming section we'll be discussing about working with text. Just for illustration purpose, click on the type tool. Then from here you can change the color of your text. Then click on any color inside your swatch. This orange. You can see that your color has changed instantly. You can also change the color from this color picker also, but you cannot find the specific color. Yes, you can. If you know the color code, you can provide here the color code and you can select. But if you have some predefined color inside your swatches, then it will be much easier, isn't it? So here I conclude this video. Next we have projects. I am really very excited about the projects. Are you excited? Okay, so let's dive in. Hello friends, welcome to our first project in working with layers and colors. Here in this video we will blend two images. You can see we have an image here and we have another image in our next tab, which is here. We will blend these two images. So for blending we need to move one image to another. Say for example I want this image to be moved here. So let's do it. For this, let's unlock this background layer. Click OK. Click on the move tool, click and drag over to the first tab. Now release your mouse. Now we'll scale it a little bit. Okay. Anything like this. Now click on the tick here. Okay. Now you can see we have two layers, background layer, which was the previous image, and this layer 1, which we have moved from here. If I use the term copy, that will be more suitable here. Okay, so it's copied here. Now for blending, what we need to do, this doesn't seem like that this image is going from here to here, because we have this sharp border. This distinction is here, isn't it? Now let's grab the eraser tool, this one. Let's make this brush a little bit bigger. You already know that we can increase the brush size from here, isn't it? But one thing I need to tell you, if you use your right bracket key, see the size of the brush is increasing, and if you press the left bracket key, then it will decrease. So this is a simple trick which is very essential in projects. Okay, now let's select a bigger brush, okay, like this, and let's erase this image just to make a smoother transition from here to here. Now it seems like blending, isn't it? It's nothing, it's just using the eraser tool to make it much smoother. You can use it using mask also, but that could be a little bit advanced, so here I have used eraser tool only. So here it is. We have blended two images, one into another. Now you can do various stuffs using this. You can desaturate one image, you can increase the light, you can increase the hue, say for example by adding an adjustment layer, hue or saturation. Let's decrease the saturation. See, it affects both images only, right? Now right click on this hue saturation layer and click on create clipping mask. See, now it's applied only to the layer beneath it. This is how you can manipulate two images and you can create awesome stuff. So here I conclude this video. In our next project, we'll be decorating an image. I'm really very excited about that project also. So let's dive in. Hello friends, in this project we will decorate an image. In our previous video we have created this blending. Let's delete this layer 1 and also delete this hue saturation. So here is our image. We want to decorate this image. Let's duplicate this layer. For duplicating this layer, there are two ways. One is drag this layer to this create a new layer button. Release it. You can see a duplicate layer has been created. Layer 0, copy. You can duplicate in another way. Press Ctrl J or Command J. Ctrl J for PC, Command J for Mac. You can see the layer has been copied. Okay. Now we will edit this image. So let's lock this image. As we will work with this layer, we should make sure that this layer should not be edited. Okay. So come to this layer. Make sure this layer is selected. Now double click here. Come to gradient overlay. I will choose this black to white and we will change the angle. Before that we need to press OK. Now we will change the angle like this. You can scale also like this. One thing you can see that if you drag here, you can see you can drag the gradient. Okay, like this. Now make the opacity little bit less. You can do it here also, or click OK here for now, and you can lower the opacity here. See, like this. Or one thing you can do, you can change the blend mode here. Choose multiply. You can see the effect. As I have told you, multiply means it will ignore white part and it will darken the dark part. If you choose screen mode, then just the opposite will happen. See, it ignores black and it focuses only on white. Now if you choose overlay, then overlay is mixed of a screen and multiply. If you choose overlay, see what happens. This part has become little bit darkened and this part has lightened a little bit. Okay, click on OK. Now here you can create an adjustment layer. Say you want to increase the hue or saturation. Make some adjustment, or you can make it default also, means which it was previously. Now one thing you can apply here, let's delete this hue saturation. Come to this effect, double click here. You can go to stroke, increase the stroke size and make sure it's inside. Now it's here. You can increase it more. You can give inner shadow. You can increase the distance, increase the size, make sure opacity is 100%. How much I have given the stroke? It's 161 pixel. Let's decrease it. Now come to inner shadow. Okay, I've increased the size so much that it has blurred everything. Our angle is 30°. It depends on our angle also, isn't it? So make the size a little bit more. See, like this. I don't like choke that much. You can choose multiply or normal also. Then you can give pattern overlay. Say this pattern or choose any pattern you want. I like this one. Now decrease the opacity. Like this. Or you can use the blend mode also. Darken. You can use multiply. You can use overlay. Right? Click OK. See this picture. This was our first picture, means before editing, and this one is after editing. Okay, I think you have learned something from this project. One thing I should recommend, that you practice this more and more. You know a phrase that practice makes a man perfect, isn't it? It's really very true. So here I conclude this project and also this section. In our next section, we will work with text.